All right, let's look at some of the most under the radar brands. These are some that I just don't hear much about on YouTube or when I'm in conversation with other resellers. It's a list of maybe 15 or 16 brands and items that I don't think are talked about enough that I feel like are some of the best ones to be looking for right now. Thank you to everyone who picked up my spreadsheet. I truly appreciate it, and I've been getting great feedback. Number one, which is Alex Crane. It's basically the entire brand, but the best item is the shorts with a sell-through rate of 554%. There's 133 sold in the shorts category. And if we take it in just men's clothing, we're looking at 186. So it's a bit of a change. But just to be sure, the sell-through rate I'm telling you right now is based on the shorts category. So it is 133 sold, which is a 554% sell-through rate, which is completely stupid. Alex Crane shorts. And I believe I touched on this in my shorts video, but I don't know if I gave it enough airtime because this brand is a must grab. The linen especially, but any shorts by Alex Crane is a grab. Alex Crane shirts, sell-through rate for the shirts is about 281%. It's the same tag, but any shirt by Alex Crane, look for the diamond tag. You never skip an Alex Crane. The linen's always good, but anything. This one has European linen, so definitely known for the linen. And this is a brand I really don't hear hardly anyone talking about, and it's OAS. The shirts, the sell-through rate for the shirts, hold on, I screwed that up. The sell-through rates for the shirts is 192% right now. They do all kinds of different shirts, but they focus on more of the high-end look. They do some Hawaiian shirts, but that's not their main focus. This is a terry cloth shirt. And this is a waffle one. The tag is OAS. It looks like this. I don't hear much about this brand, but it is a great brand. It's killer. And their shirts, like I said, 192% sell-through rate. Next is Alex Crane again, but the pants. So I think it's fair to say Alex Crane anything, mostly linen. That's why it's blowing up right now. So right now, in general, you should be picking up linen. But you want to be careful because there's a lot of trashy brands. Then we have Murray's Toggery Shop. I haven't heard anything about this from anyone ever. This is one of those secret brands that I've been picking up for like 4 years, and I love it. It always sells good for me. $50 for a pair of shorts. I know they're brand new, but come on. And one of the best items is the Nantucket Red. Anything that's Nantucket Red is pretty good, and this is the label. Keep an eye out for Murray's Toggery Shop, Nantucket Reds. There may be others that sell for this brand. In fact, let's see if there are. Here's one right here. Oh, that's another Nantucket Red. It looks like basically it's all the Nantucket Red except for maybe this poor lonely green shirt. I'll bet it's Nantucket Reds again, yeah. So the Nantucket Reds don't necessarily have to be red. But look for Murray's Toggery Shop. I'm telling you, I've been selling this stuff myself, and I've never heard anybody bring it up. It is 122% sell-through rate. It is not saturated. There's not that many people selling it because not that many people know about it. So be on the lookout for Murray's Toggery Shop. Then we have Darc Sport. This one I've been selling for a bit. And you got to put it in quotes because otherwise you'll get all kinds of stuff for sport. But it's 115% sell-through rate just for the shorts. Now it's going to bring up shirts too because as we talked about before. So the sell-through rate may be actually a bit lower than 115%. But it's still good. Look out for Darc Sport, and you'll hear the word wolves a lot of times associated with Darc Sport. You'll see this. And they do this a lot with the 206 of 1,000. They do these limited runs. I'm not sure how limited they are, but if it says limited runs, then I guess this is what the tag looks like. They could just use a C, but they use like a weird C. I'm sure that there's an official name for it, but I'm not smart enough to know what it's called. To me, it looks like an L with a hat. But Darc Sport, Wolves, look for it. 115% sell-through rate, and as you can look at these sold prices, $60 for a used pair of shorts. What more do you want? That's about as good as it gets. Then we have Stio, which this brand was a Huckberry brand. It's not as great as I wish it was. About a year and a half ago, it was pretty great. It's still pretty good. But the shorts are the thing with Stio, at least right now in this time of year. There was a time where the sweaters were really good, and they still are, but the shorts, obviously, today's the 29th of May. So Stio shorts, 110% sell-through rate, probably slightly lower because it's going to probably bring up short sleeve shirts. But as summer trudges on, these sell-through rates are going to go up and up and up. Because obviously as the summer gets more entrenched, more people are buying shorts, it's going to change the numbers. But these are some under-the-radar brands. So Stio, you may know about the brand, but I'm not sure you knew if the shorts were this good. So it has a pine cone for the logo. I've talked about the brand before. It looks like this. Don't pass on Stio, especially the shorts. This time of year, if you find a sweater or sweatshirt and you have to pay up for it, you may want to reconsider, just because it might not sell for a while. At least that's my strategy. I like to try to keep it pretty seasonal. Even if it's a really good item, I won't pay up for it unless it's going to sell in this coming season in the next couple months. But, it's a good item, so you might still want to pick it up. It's totally up to you. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of how I do things because it's my video. That's how I do it. So U510 is another brand I'm sure you've heard of. It's for shorter dudes, under 5'10", a lot like Ash and Erie. This is the second brand that I know of to come out and fully embrace the glaring hole in the market for shorter dudes. There's a lot of brands that have tried to do it for bigger dudes, but they make terrible clothing. So if a brand comes out that makes big and tall, that's really good stuff, stylish, good quality, I think it'll blow up. But I'm not a fashion consultant. Obviously, I wear Journey t-shirts and John Wayne hats. So under 5'10", look for it. Brand new, $22. I feel like they could have done better. It's not a huge boutique, expensive brand, but you're always good for $20 if you find some U510s. I've done good with the joggers and the shorts, but the shirts are actually the best right now that I can find at 80% sell-through rate. So I'm going to go down a couple more here, a few more. Next, it's Lucchese. It's pronounced Lucchese or Lucchese. I mean, I don't really care. I'm not a stickler. You can say however you want. It's a Western brand. Their boots are really good. If you find anything by Lucchese, it's probably a pickup. Be careful for condition because people pay a lot for this stuff and they keep it until it falls off their bones because they paid so much for it. That's the case for a lot of this stuff. So just be aware of the condition. But the Lucchese shirts are 79% sell-through rate right now. This data was just pulled 2 days ago. So it's very, very fresh data. Look for Lucchese. Like I said, be careful of condition. People aren't going to want it if it's totally trashed. Look for that 1883 Lucchese. And I know it's not a very seasonal item because we're getting into summer and long sleeve shirts aren't really what I'm trying to pick up. But if I find a Lucchese, you better believe I'm picking it up if I can get it for a good price, like probably under $8, which is rare around here, but it's possible. And we have Osloh Jeans. This is a very small brand, and I hesitated to put this in the video because it is so small, but it's not so small that I didn't find some. I recently found and sold 2 pair of these things, and they sold within 3 or 4 days. 77% sell-through rate. And as far as I know, it's commuter jeans, which is a whole nother niche that's kind of cropped up in the last year or two. These are jeans made for people that ride bikes. And so they're going to be kind of jogger-ish. They might have reinforced seats. They're going to be stretchy. They might have a few extra pockets. But if you can call them commuter jeans, that's good stuff. So this is what the tag looks like. I actually found 2 pair of these at Savers. And the Savers I go to is pretty terrible almost all the time. But I do find Lululemon there occasionally. And I always see other resellers there. That's the tag, OSLOH. You can't see the O in this one. But I mean, I'm sure you can imagine what it looks like. Osloh. Very rare brand. 7 sold, 9 active. Actually, by now it's probably Is it still 7? Let's refresh. Yeah, still 7 sold, 9 active, 77% sell-through rate. But, I mean, they're $55 used. So you can't complain about that. This next brand is one that I talked about recently in a video. Ebbets Field Flannels. I think it was a haul video I talked about. Okay, so this brand is really interesting. It's called Ebbets Field Flannels, but they don't just make flannel shirts. They also make regular shirts, t-shirts, jerseys, sports stuff, lots of sports stuff. And as you'll see later, their hats are good too. But as a brand, Ebbets Field, a lot of the stuff is vintage. Ebbets Field Flannels, anything you find by them, I would really take a close look at it and consider picking it up. Look at this tag. Ebbets Field Flannels. Keep your eye out for that tag, and almost anything you find that on is going to be a grab. Then Alex Mill, not to be confused with Alex Crane. Alex Mill pants with a sell-through rate of 74%. 107 sold, 138 active. It's actually a little better now. I have it at 74% sell-through rate, but that's when this number was 103. So if it's 107 now, that's going to change the sell-through rate ever so slightly. Now it's 77% sell-through rate. So Alex Mill, let's look at the pants. I've sold this brand, obviously. I came across it. I love it when that's how I learn about brands. This was one of those brands that no one told me about. Then I was outsourcing. I found this. I was like, hey, that looks interesting. Looked it up. And that's great when that happens. That's one of my favorite things to do with this job is finding stuff. You don't know anything about it. You look it up and you find out it's great. So I'm sorry to ruin that for you. But I'm sure there's other brands that I won't ruin for you. If you find this, you're going to know it's great and you don't have to look it up. But you could if you're being careful. I wouldn't bother looking it up. If you find Alex Mill pants, I'd grab them and sell them. Then we have Darc Sport again. This time it's shirts. They do go crazy with the wolves. Darc Sport. This is a new with tags. Anytime you find a high-end brand like this and it's new with tags, be extremely leery. This stuff is faked so much. Just be careful. Just be careful. But Darc Sport, always good. If you see wolves on it, it's always going to be a limited run. I use air quotes with sarcasm. A limited run. Be on the lookout for Darc Sport. Shirts, pants, shorts, especially shorts. Okay, the last one that I have a tab for on this list is Ebbets Field Flannels hat. So, this brings something else up. Baseball hats is something I've been meaning to do to get into my big spreadsheet, and that's one of the things that I'm going to be working on for the next iteration. It's not in there now, but I'm going to look into it. This is not something that I specialize in. I don't know much about it, so I'm looking forward to educating myself, and then whatever I learn, obviously I'll pass on to you. So let's take a look at this right now. It's 68% sell-through rate, which is actually pretty crazy for baseball hats. I mean, me as a baseball hat dummy, I don't do really good with my hats. I try, but they sit forever even if they're good, and it's a hard niche to get into. There are people out there crushing it, and their knowledge would blow your mind. I don't know enough about this stuff, but if you find a hat, any sporty looking hat that has a ball team or anything and it looks old and it's got a cool fly on, look at this fly, what a rock star. He's just giving you the finger like, yeah, bro, this is what I'm doing. Look at him. Let's get a close-up. This fly is the best. There he goes. What's up, brohams? All right, so Ebbets Field. This one says Filson, which it's a Filson Ebbets Field. Okay, that's a new one on me, kids. I didn't know there was a such thing as a Filson Ebbets Field. If you find that, that's doubly good. Let's look at this one. Ooh, this looks really vintage. Of course, it could be a repop, but who knows? Just look for Ebbets Field Flannels on hats, and trust me when I tell you, it's almost 70% sell-through rate, which is insane for baseball hats. I don't have any other tabs because this is what I prepared for you, but I do want to mention a few. There is Beyond Clothing, which I find, actually I could open a tab right here because I kind of did my little homework ahead of time. Beyond Clothing, this is a brand that I've recently started selling. because I didn't know about it until a few months ago. Their stuff is pretty good. 68% sell-through rate. That's almost 70%. And as you see, brand new, we're looking at $350 for a Layer 5 Cold Fusion jacket. $70 for some pre-owned pants. And I'm pretty sure I brought up Beyond Clothing in one of my previous videos, but it's one of the least talked about brands that I've heard lately. So be on the lookout for Beyond Clothing 2. And Celtic Ranchwear is the last one I'll do, because I also happen to have a tab for this. This is one that I found recently and sold a couple, or one so far. But Celtic Ranchwear, they make Irish traditional shirts. I don't know if they make pants and stuff, but see, it has the band collar. It kind of looks like the old Western vibe. But I had one of these with the way too many buttons, and let me tell you right now, that was not fun. That was not fun to get all that buttoned up and prepped. This isn't my listing, but I had one like this. Celtic Ranchwear, the sell-through rate, 62%. It's not incredible, but it's pretty darn good. And if you find it cheap, you're going to get $30 for this thing. Close-up of the tag, my friend. Okay, there's the horse. And there we go. Celtic Ranchwear. This is good stuff, made in the Irish tradition. I don't know if it's made in Ireland. It's probably not. But you can tell by the material, it's like a tight canvas. Looks pretty cool. So Celtic Ranchwear. And the last one I will do, because I feel like making one more. Banks Journal. Not the whole brand. Not everything is great, but the shorts are 63% sell-through rate. Actually, it's a lot better now. Okay, this has jumped up significantly in the last few days since I made this data. So, hold on a second. 71 sold. Uh-oh. This is significantly different. Okay, 116% sell-through rate. See what happens in 3 days? So Banks Journal, 116% sell-through rate for the shorts. Okay, look at, it's going to have some shirts in it. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit inflated. But the corduroy shorts, these are the ones that I found that turned me onto the brand. Look for this tag on shorts, especially corduroy. But any shorts will do. Banks Journal shorts. Not all items. I think some of their stuff doesn't sell very well. But if you look closely, you can see these are 25, 27, 32, 25. These were new. I feel like you could have got more. $28 new, $20 new, $29. So between 20 and 30, depending on the good stuff. And of course, it wouldn't be one of my videos without Linda's stuff. Linda's stuff is in every single video because Linda's stuff basically runs eBay. So Banks Journal shorts, look out for it. And I believe that's going to be it. So keep an eye out for all those brands. And everybody, thank you so much for picking up my spreadsheet. I really do appreciate it. If you want to get it, it's in the description. And like I said, I appreciate everybody's support. It really does help keep me on YouTube.